Today's legendary lost sector is in Bunker E15 and is a pretty tough lost sector with the Overload champions and with just how much the Void splash damage does. If you're lower on power level, you'll get nearly one shot by the Overload captains or the final boss. If you're having a tough time running this legendary lost sector, in this video I'm going to go over the loadout I use and the path I take every time for faster and safer runs. Hi guys, I'm Legionless and this channel is about helping you enjoy your games more. If you want to enjoy your games more, make sure to comment down below if you have any other tips for the Lost Sector, and follow me on Twitter for more Destiny content. If you need specific tips for running this Lost Sector on the class you're running, there's links in the description below to a quick guide on the loadout to run on your class for quick and easy runs. In this Lost Sector, you're going to run into one barrier Hobgoblin and a few Overload Minotaurs. Our loadout is going to need to be able to stun both of these champions easily, as well as have enough damage to reliably be able to kill them before they just run right through us. Every champion kill gives you an extra revive, and killing all champions should give you a higher chance at getting an exotic drop from the chest. The recommended power level is 1250, so you should be as close to this as possible, but it's still pretty doable if you're 20 levels under. You won't have the fastest runs, but you also won't be so weak that you won't stand a chance. You take extra damage from any arc damage and while you're in the air. Void damage you deal and receive is also increased by 50%, which is why Minotaurs and the boss will one-shot you if you're really low power level and will get you to really low health if you're closer to the recommended power level. My favorite weapon to run to deal with barrier champions is Eriana's Vow. You're able to break their barrier from far away, and it also has a bunch of ammo and deals a lot of damage. With Eriana, I run hand cannon mods on my armor to increase the special ammo that drops, so I never run out of ammo for it. For this season, auto rifles and scout rifles are the only weapon types that can disrupt Overload champions, but relying on auto rifles to disrupt these Minotaurs that teleport around a bunch makes them a terrible option. I cannot recommend enough that you get a kinetic scout rifle, like the Night's Watch from Gambit, so you can disrupt the Overload Minotaurs easily, as well as just having a good option to kill enemies from farther away. If you have the season pass, the Void Scout rifle you can get from running Wrathborn hunts is also a really good option. You'll just need to run a kinetic SMG or pulse rifle for the anti-barrier rounds. Then you can run an exotic heavy weapon like the Truth because of the 50% buff to void damage. Some other really good void heavy weapon options are a grenade launcher like the Crowd Pleaser from Gambit with spike nades, Falling Guillotine from the World Drop loot pool, the Commemoration LMG from the Deepstone Crypt raid, or the Behringer's Memory grenade launcher from World Drops as well. You'll take a lot less damage from enemies if you're running the Kinetic Scout, Eriana's Vow, and Void heavy weapon combo, especially if you're little below the recommended power level. So for your armor, make sure to have Overload Scout Rifle on your gloves, and then any armor mods you can equip that will increase the ammo drop rates for hand cannons and whatever heavy you choose to run. You can also run this season's mods on your class item called Surge Eater and Thermal Overload. This combo disrupts Overload champions if you damage them with a solar or stasis grenade, and when you disrupt the champion, you get your grenade back. This combo lets you use your grenade to stun and then get your grenade back instantly. Some other really good armor mods you can consider running are Spoils of War, which is a class item mod found on your artifact. Every champion you use a finisher on will spawn you heavy guaranteed. Concussive Dampener and either void or arc damage resistant mods are some really good options too if you're lower power level or you're just finding you're taking too much damage from enemies to stay alive easily. If things get too tough though, you can always just let the exoframes take care of literally everything while you binge watch more content on this channel. Fortunately, the only shield in this lost sector is void, so if you have a void grenade launcher with spike nades on it, you'll be able to pop Minotaur shields and do insane DPS to the boss. If you decide to use a different loadout, just make sure to change your armor mods around. When you start the lost sector, there's some random fallen, including an Overload captain. Just hang out in the spot you spawn from and use your scout rifle to kill all trash enemies and disrupt the champion. You'll never see the fallen again in this lost sector, sector. Moving forward in the Lost Sector, destroy the boxes to open the containment fields so the exo frames can help you. Once you get to a large open room, quickly open the containment fields so the frames can kill some of the trash enemies for you while you focus on the big threats like the Hydra, Minotaur, and Barrier Champion. You'll want to take out the Hydra first because it will one-shot you no matter how powerful you are. Once you kill the Hydra, clear away the rest of the enemies and leave the Barrier Champion for last. This way you can just 1v1 the champion in case you have any trouble with it because it'll do a lot of damage to you. Probably the hardest room in this entire Lost Sector is the final room with the boss. I found the catwalk absolutely awful for cover because the void splash damage the boss shoots at you will still damage you almost wherever you go. I use the entrance into this room as where I set up so I can run back to the previous room if I need cover. For the boss room, an Overload Minotaur will spawn every time you hit a damage threshold on the boss for a total of 2 spawning before you kill the boss. I really cannot recommend enough just hanging back in the hallway leading into this room for safety. The amount of void splash damage in this room that can come at you will make most of you with lower power levels have a really tough time here. Play safe and have enemies walk around the corner to you one at a time. Don't be afraid to use Eriana's Vow or your heavy to quickly kill trash enemies so you can stay safe and not die, especially when you start running out of revives. If you're running Eriana's Vow, use the anti-barrier rounds to shoot through the Hydra boss's shields for damage, even when you can't get a good shot at it through its rotating barriers. Stay safe and just pick off enemies with your scout rifle and damage the boss when it's safe. When the Overload champion starts coming towards you, disrupt it and kill it with Eriana's Vow. If you need to back away and give up some ground to stay alive, run back towards the previous room and take out the champion where there aren't as many walls for his void splash damage to hit you. Just keep picking off enemies with your scout, killing the Overload champion, and DPSing the boss while being as safe as possible. You should have plenty of revives in case you die a few times, especially as you get more revives from killing the champions. Just take your time going through the Lost Sector and focus on staying alive more than optimizing DPS or clearing away enemies. If you reach 15 minutes on the timer, you'll lose all revives you have, so if you die again before opening the chest, you'll wipe and have to start over completely. If you need more specific tips for going through this Lost Sector on the class you're running, in the description below is a link to a video that will show you how to easily go through the Lost Sector on your class and what loadout to run to have some quick and consistent runs. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to enjoy your games more, like this video to help me out, and follow me on Twitter for more Destiny content. Thanks for watching.